get started. So welcome everyone, and thank you so much, Chanel, for being the exceptional administrative assistant that you are to this organization. You are amazing, and I don't think I say that enough. Thank you, Chanel. So that's my girl. So in addition,
she
what I want to
is.
do is I'll introduce myself real quickly, and then I'm going straight to you, Dr. Wilburn, and any other attending. Okay, let me define attending. You graduated from med school. You are in residency per se. And when I say per se, you feel like you can talk about what it means to be in residency and you feel like enough mental energy to support a student. And if you are out of residency, finally, that's the ultimate in attending, because now you've completed your study. So I want to hear from all of those people because I think that's really important, so that our students can see that you are serving as a formal mentor. And if you don't want to be that person, obviously don't raise your hand, but I would like you to raise your hand so I can see you. Certainly Chanel can see you as well, and call upon you to, remember I just said three things: name, what medical school that you went to, and why are you interested in being a mentor. And you can do that in, I certainly, you know how I am about time, you could do that in these 3 minutes. You can get that done. So I'm going to talk about it, and then I'm going to bring myself off. So here we go. I am Dr. Latanya Hines. I am one of the Sister to Sister chairpersons. I am always excited to be here. This is our final meeting of the year. We will be meeting again in January, but we're going to go dark for the rest of this year. And I am beyond proud and happy to have just recently concluded as an organization the Charity Benefit Scholarship program, and to have awarded over 13 scholarship recipients. All of them will be receiving checks anywhere between $4,000 to $6,000 per student. I'm so proud of that. In addition, we also are an organization that's about pipeline. So we're about the pipeline in the med school, the pipeline in med school, and the attendings and the support of them thereof. So I'm happy about that. I am an obstetrician gynecologist. I am board certified. I am assistant clinical professor for the Kaiser Permanente School of Medicine, as well as just recently assistant clinical professor for Charles R. Drew School of Medicine. Hey, I went there, as well as the assistant physician in charge over at Baldwin Hills Crenshaw. But more importantly, what am I? A Black woman, as a Black female physician, that loves my students and wants to increase the pipeline of people that look like me. That's it. Next, Dr. Wilburn, you got the floor.
I'm Wanda Wilburn. I'm very short to the point. I'm an obstetrician gynecologist for over 30 plus years. I've been in private practice, pretty much the only African-American female in the high desert. I come with a well-rounded experience. I've been on the board of the hospital. I've been chair of their department. I've been the community go-to person for obstetrics and gynecology. I've recently closed my practice. I want to probably transition to more of a virtual practice in Rancho Cucamonga. I'm in the process of doing that now, doing something that makes me happy. I've abandoned the obstetrical portion. However, I am starting to move toward helping doulas and some other community projects. I'm really into a real well-rounded perspective in terms of being an African-American female, ready to give back to reach back, hand the baton to other females up and coming through the tracks. I kind of pride myself as having a more non-traditional journey. I'm not board certified. And I think I can bring a different perspective to a mentorship program in terms of your matriculation from medical school to out here just being an attending in the real world. So that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Now, I know we have two hosts, so Chanel is our host as well, so I forget that when I start clicking on stuff, and some people, you guys see me clicking and doing stuff. But I don't know if Chanel, you want to broaden out the numbers of people because they may not be on the Zoom yet, but are there any other attendings that would also like to introduce themselves and to let us know? I see Dr. Joanne Williams raised her hand. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
So
great.
Please raise your hand if you would like to introduce yourself and to let us know what your interest is and why you're interested in being a mentor, because that's what it's about today. And please make sure that before you leave, in the chat, put your name and contact information so that we can contact you. Or you can go to, is it ABWP sister to sister @gmail.com. I believe that's our email, right, Chanel?
Yes.
I don't know. Yes.
I'll
So
put
it's
it in the chat.
AB, yeah, put it in the chat. So ABWP, sister to sister @gmail.com. And that will also be a direct pipeline to letting us have your information if you don't want to put it on the chat, especially, I know we are recording, so, you know, you may not want the world to know that information. So Dr. Williams, you have the floor.
Greetings, ladies. I remember back in the day when Dr. Sherrod started Association of Black Women's Physicians. I was active back then and fell off the grid. I was the program director in emergency medicine at Kingview Medical Center when the hospital closed.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
certified in emergency medicine. I was the first African-American woman in the Department of Emergency Medicine at Keck School of Medicine. And the main reason that I'm interested in mentorship, because those 8 years that I was at Keck were the worst years of my career.
Mm.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was horrible. There was so few African Americans that came through that program. When I left, there were 73 residents, and there was one African American.
Oh, yeah.
It was a horror. So my main interest in mentorship is to help some of these young ladies that may be stuck in a situation like that.
Yes.
And
Amen.
it was a difficult time. They did everything to try to break me, but I said, I'm going to hang in there to get my 25 years.
Amen. Good.
Retire and get all of my benefits. I'm also a founding member of the American Academy of Emergency Medicine. I was the first woman to become a master of the American Academy of Emergency Medicine. And I now am semi-retired and I do critical care at Long Beach Memorial Medical Center. And I do a few ED shifts to keep my certification up. I never left Drew. So I am associate professor of clinical emergency medicine in the Department of Internal Medicine at Drew to this day.
Excellent.
That's me in a nutshell.
Great.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. I appreciate all of the first. And that's, I think, what is so, it gives me life being a part of an organization that from the grassroots knows where we come from and has been a witness over the past 40 years to what we have achieved and so much more going forward. I see my great colleague, Dr. Sylvia Swilley on the line, pediatric cardiologist. She has her hand up. I'm open to listening.
Well, I just wanted to introduce myself to everyone. Sylvia Swilley. I'm a retired board certified pediatric cardiologist. I was 10 years in private practice and almost 25 years at Kaiser. And so I think I do offer a somewhat unique perspective, having been in private practice and then familiar with HMOs. I wanted to be involved in mentoring at this level because I think just the number of years I've been around gives me experiences that I would like to share. Not to say that young people have to do it my way, but I can point out pitfalls. But I got a whole bunch of, I wish I had done this.
Yes.
And so I think that that's something that, because when people talk about what it takes to get into medical school now, it's very different from what it took back then. I don't know that what I could tell you about that is so helpful, but certainly from saving, how to prepare for retirement when you're in your 20s rather than your 40s and 50s. These are things that I can share. I would also like to just say that I think mentorship is important long before you get to the level that you're medical students or undergrads. And so you may think of yourselves as mentees, but you really should be mentoring someone else.
Yes.
I'm involved in mentoring middle school girls. And that's probably a little late, but in my work with First 5 LA, to appreciate that our kids don't fall behind in school, they start behind in school. And so really it's that kid at some level, at some point, ABWP has to look at the preschoolers. And right now we do that by supporting and working with First 5 LA, working with the Genesee Center. But mentorship is a process from birth to the grave, as you say.
Right. That's right.
And so I'm happy to continue and help in any way that I can.
Awesome.
All right. Good job.
Awesome. Other hands that are up? Other hands that are up? I think Dr. Carlisle, is here. in the room somewhere. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm clicking on all these buttons with the different views. There's Dr. Sherrard. I see she's coming in. So I'm going to say it again for the attendings that are coming in, because I can see some of that, you know, the way that Chanel has the screen pinned. I see Dr. Carlisle is telling us she's going to walk to a quiet place. So what we're doing right now is introducing all of these exceptional women on this call, this Zoom call, who are mentors and exceptional women, obviously in their own right as attending physicians. And what I like is for those who are on the call as students to hear who's on the call. So that these are people that you know are actively involved in wanting to be a mentor for you and helping you with your career. So I know Dr. Sherrard just came in. So I would like, if Dr. Sherrard can hear me, to come on camera and to tell us, number one, who she is, number two, what school she went to, and number three, why she's interested in mentorship. We're doing this for everyone. And because we don't necessarily get a lot of mentors with every single sister to sister meeting, but I want to try to get as many of them as possible. And then I want to open the floor, because this is our final meeting for this year. Obviously we go dark during the fall, and this is our last meeting, and we'll be right back in January. But this is an opportunity for people to really see. And while we're dark, we will be matching. Okay. You tell us what you're interested in, what you feel like you want to talk about, how we can help you in your career, where you are in your career, things like that. Are you just in the beginning of your journey versus you're at the end and you're, an attending and have questions about retirement? All righty. And so I see some chat. I'm trying to figure out what's happening here.
Can you hear me?
I can. There's Dr. Carlisle. Yes.
So it's less noisy, but it's not quiet, but I didn't want you to have dead air. So that's why I'm calling in as I'm walking.
Yes.
So my name is Sylvia Gates Carlisle, board certified internal medicine geriatrics. I was born in Portland, Oregon. Okay, yes, it's worse than you think. And so I went to medical school at Brown University. And my interest in mentoring has been because my parents were mentors. Right now, I'm medical management, medical director at Beaver Medical Group in the Inland Empire. I'm passionate about the pipeline because unfortunately, this has been a failure of medicine. AAMC promised 30 years ago to fix this problem and they haven't, so it's up to us. I think my value as a mentor in this day and age is I've always been in white spaces. So when folks are gaslighting you about racism, talk to me and I will validate, yes, you really felt that and you are right.
Exactly.
And so I think that's my greatest value, because every day someone's, some performative ally is trying to explain racism doesn't exist. And it's exhausting, but we have to survive and thrive. So I will go back on mute as I continue to walk.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carlisle, for making it plain, because that's the absolute truth. And I know that there's no one on the call, that includes the students, that don't understand that the road that you chose to become a physician, whether you are already a physician or whether you're on that road and preparing, or whether you're even in medical school, that we are in a space in which we really do only represent 2.5% of the nation's physicians. That means that those seats that are at the tables that are necessary in order to change our trajectory appear to be small. And yet those mighty voices of the people on this call and those out there who are actively practicing as Black female physicians and those who might be retired have laid that foundation. So you are part of a bigger entity and family that welcomes you and knows that you are absolutely going to be successful because you got this far and it was not by accident. Everyone on this call is exceptional, and I know it to be true because we are not accepted as mediocre as physicians. Unacceptable. You can't be bad and be a Black physician, period.
As a Black woman, nobody gives you the choice to be bad. Other demographics can rise despite incompetence and lack of ethics. You
Not
don't get
us.
that opportunity.
So we know
Sorry, I'm
you're
on a
all
rage.
great. I got it. You know, I understand. I do. Are there any other attendings that are on the call? I think Dr. Sherrod came in. I don't think we had I'm sorry for clicking. I didn't have an opportunity to hear from her. Dr. Sherrod, are you out there? Maybe not. All right. Chanel, can you pull up all of the places, not places, but the faces that are on our call? It looks like I have 24. Can you give me that view? Or should I hit it?
Did you see it change?
No, I haven't seen it change yet.
Okay, go to the top right corner where it says view and then
All right, here we
check
go.
the
And then
speakers
just
to
get gallery. Got it. Okay, perfect. All right. And I'm still, Chanel, just keep letting people in. Okay, okay, as I'm doing stuff. All right. So I see a lot of the students that I had the opportunity to talk to previously, whether they were asking me about their application or they applied for some of the programs that we are actively involved in increasing the numbers with the Mcat prep program, or whether they're just part of Sister to Sister and they're actively applying. So there's Jesse again. So what I would like to do is I want the students, I know it might seem or you might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but you're here for a reason. And I'd like for the students, if they want, to raise your hand and just talk with us about what you are expecting from this program. I think that's important because just being here is important, but we want to hear what it is that you need for us to do. We know what we thought we needed, and we are now in a position where we can provide that as best we can, but we want to be focused on making sure that we're doing what we need to do. I now see Dr. Sherrod, and so I want her to now have the opportunity to take the floor and let us know who she is, what medical school she attended, and why she is interested in mentoring. She's a very big person, but I'm saying it like that for the 3 questions so that she has an opportunity, like the other attendings on the call, to introduce herself. And then all of us will have perhaps the opportunity for the rest of this afternoon to explain and to expound on that. Dr. Sherrod, you have the floor.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Hines. And hello, everybody. I apologize for being late at another meeting. But my name is Jessie Sherrod, and I'm a pediatric infectious disease specialist. And my last job was hospital epidemiologist. I'm also the founder of the Association of Black Women Physicians. And our goals were to empower Black women physicians to lead in health and wellness for themselves and for our community. And included in those goals were to serve as a means of support for each other, but also to lift as we climb. And the lifting as we climb is the mentoring we do for our young pre-med and medical students. And we provide scholarships to assist them on their journey through medical school. Now, we've had several of our students who've received scholarships over the years, and we've been around now for 39 years, more than 39 years, it'll be 40 years in May.
Yes.
And we've had some of the students come back and be president of the organization so that we can keep on giving. You know, we give and then we lift, and then you come back and you continue to lift. And thus we've been around for about 39 and a half years. So what else did you ask me? What was the other question?
You have spoken to, I know you have spoken to it. Absolutely. Why are you interested personally in being a mentor, Dr. Sherrod?
Because I think we have to pay it forward.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If you're blessed, then you give. And so I feel like I think it's my obligation to continue to give, to continue to mentor, because one thing, you know, we still have a lack of sufficient physicians in the Black community. And so we need young Black women and young Black men going to medical school and coming back and working in our community so that we can get rid of these disparities and so that we can provide services to our people. Hopefully they will trust us a little bit more because of the history of racism and all of that in this country. So it is necessary to give back. And so my whole idea, it came to me in medical school to start the organization. I was listening to Dr. Vivian Penn, who's a big NIH person. She came to Harvard Medical School. That's what you asked me. Where did I go to medical school? Went to Harvard Medical School. I was a 4th-year student. She came to talk about Black women physicians. And when she talked about the issues facing Black women physicians, I went back to my room and I had a light bulb moment. I said, we need our own Black women physicians organization. And thus the idea of ABWP, and I came to UCLA. And finally, when I left UCLA, I got it together. So I'm very happy and proud because I think I can check off. If I did a checklist, empowering women to lead, we've had about 29 or 30 presidents. Black women physicians are leading in health and wellness for their communities. And we're supporting each other and we're mentoring. And the students are coming back and being presidents of the organization. So check, check, check.
Go on with your bad self. Go on with your bad self. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Sherrard.
Thank you,
And I
Dr.
think I
for all
saw,
you do.
I love you. We doing the best we can. I am looking for some more attendings because I think that this is so inspiring and I hope that it's helping the students to hear that you too are just like the person you're talking to. If you feel like, I'm not going to make it to that point. I'm struggling so hard because believe me, that Mcat and those exams and residency and med school are hard. They just are. And it does not get easier. You just get better. Okay. So what you thought was hard is no longer hard because you've gotten better. And the next hard thing is whatever you're working on. And so I feel like it's exciting to see people who, as my husband would always say, they put their pants on with the same leg that you put your pants on, and they're not any different. And so anytime you find yourself feeling like you're feeling a bit intimidated or you can't ask a question or you don't think that something's going to happen, I want you to understand that the imposter syndrome, unfortunately, begins with you not understanding your own greatness and your ability to accomplish what you have already accomplished. And there's just that much more for you to continue to excel at. And we are here as a resource for you. So I see some students, because I know my students. So I'm about to call on you in a minute. And I think I'll just do so. Brandy Sankey, I see you. How you doing?
I'm
You're
well.
on.
How are you doing?
I'm
How
doing
is
all right.
everybody else doing out there? Pretty good.
Why are you needing a mentor? Talk to us. She's awesome, so I know she could tell us.
A mentor. I know that this journey has been traveled by many prior to me, with me and after me. And I think just having a mentor and our mentors, people to talk to, bounce ideas with, off, help you see things clearer, help you along your path, help you be better, fine-tune your skills, see some of your pitfalls, and not just for you, but that you can turn around and do the same for others that come behind you and or with you too along the journey. So while it is that you are becoming better, you're becoming better not only to be better for yourself, but to be even a better mentor to somebody else who's looking to you for those same types of qualities. So just being able to be a part of a group of people that want you to succeed in the same way that you do, and that are rooting for you just like you're rooting for them, is one of the reasons that I'm seeking out a mentor and wanting to be a mentor and getting the right information, because you get a lot of information, but wanting to make sure that what you get is correct.
Yeah, the truth.
Yes, it's efficient, and it gets you to where you need to be. And I think also sometimes keeping your emotions in check are hard, but I think hearing the truth in whatever way it's presented to you from people that care and it's coming from a loving place is something that all of us can accept. And if that's a hard thing for you to accept, then you got to learn how to do that. And it's best to learn that from like a loving and comforting place as this, versus when it is that you get out into the world, because it's not going to be as loving, or it might even be more curt. But at least if you can hear it, you're being prepared here.
Excellent.
And sharpening the knife.
Thank you, Brandy. I knew that you would just blow it out the water. I knew you would blow it out the water. I see some students, any hands up? I see no hands. Anybody raising some hands to talk about? I see some new faces too on the call.
My student is here, Kitiana Hampstead.
Oh yeah.
I see her sitting right up here next to me.
Hampstead? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
Talk to
Really
us.
need a mentor.
Talk to us, young future doctor, young Dr. Hampstead.
Hello.
Tell us, why do you need a mentor? What has mentorship done for you?
Yeah, good.
It's been such an amazing experience, especially as someone who is a first generation student and now in this journey as will be a first generation physician. I've gotten so much guidance, like Brandy put it perfectly. I will never forget when I got my Mcat score and I text Dr. Hines, like, can you help me make a school list? Because I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't know if this is gonna be good enough. And I was just really freaked out. And, you know, it's been really great having an encouraging family, but half the time they really don't know what I'm doing. And so being able to, you know, text and call Dr. Hines and Dr. Sherrod and just being like, I don't know what I'm doing, or, you know, can you guide me in this, has been very beneficial. And just like Brandy said, you know, it's a really great way to reach back and help other people. You know, being a first generation college student, my original thought was like, I'm reaching back, help people get to college. But now I have this extra knowledge to help people actually get to medical school now. And it's been very beneficial. They've been very encouraging. I applied to schools that I would have never applied to. And now, you know, I'm knocking on 12 interview invitations and 4 acceptances already for this cycle. And
Wonderful.
It's just been really encouraging. And you really need that encouragement. And I'm doing things that I would have never expected. And you don't know what you don't know until you talk to someone who's been through it. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We talked from the get-go, right? And I said, we gonna get in. This is what we need to do. And I think it's important to, when probably I quoted this, I think, on one of my little Twitter pages, and I said the enemy of success is comparing yourself to other people. Let me say that again.
Yes.
You are in a group of people who, especially when you're comparing yourself to, I would say, the traditional population. You know, look, if their mama is a doctor, their daddy is a doctor, if they grew up in a professional family, they second, third generation education as far as advanced education, they came out of the womb in private school. And for those of you that did not have that opportunity, or even if you did have professional parents, you still live in Black in America. That's real. So there's some difference there in what your resources and opportunities are. And so we are here as a group to start to expand that and to start to level that playing field as best we can. And this is where what I call, this is the equity. This is where we have what we call that diversity and equity. And here's where our inclusion is as well. So equity is, what do you need in order to succeed? Some need this much, some need more. Some don't need much at all. And what about inclusion? Making sure that when you get where you need to be, that you were made to feel as if that's where you're supposed to be. Not give you lip service to, yes, we want you. And then they get there and they beat you up and make you feel like you should be there in the first place. So I want that to be also what we do here with Sister to Sister as well. And I see Detriana Bowden on the call. That's one of our other students. I see you off camera. Can you speak to us as well about mentorship, Detriana? Or did she just turn her camera on? She gone. That's one of our students. I don't see her. Okay. Any other attendings on the call that might want to talk to us? Because, you know, I can get really talking and chatting.
I do. I want to talk. I
come on, Wanda.
Well, you know, we're trying to put together a more active mentorship. And so it would be interesting if you ladies could tell us what you need from us. I don't know. I don't really know any of you mentees here on the line, but I would be interested in what you need from us. Be very transparent. And what I need from you, and that is for you to teach me how to apply to medical school. And why do I need you to teach me how to apply? Because when you teach me how to apply, for all you know, there may be some contacts that I've been rubbing elbows with for the last 30 years that I may be able to make a phone call. or I may know somebody else who may make a phone call. I'm about, you know, networking, using your connections. And I think all of us, the 5 of us here, are very powerful people. We rub elbows with very powerful people. And so if you guys could be transparent, if I can't give it to you, or if Dr. Sherrod or Dr. Carlisle or Dr. Swilley or Dr. Hines, if we can't give it to you, I guarantee you we know somebody else who can. And I am somebody that you just give me one name. I have no problems calling up people and trying to figure out how I can get in and make my face seen so I can be about the business of the day, and that's to help you guys. So if you guys could be very open and transparent and just say, what do you need? Do you just need somebody to call you every month? Do you need somebody to talk about, you know, like Dr. Swilley said, the financial part after you finish or while you're going through residency, any of those type of things, your challenge, because I can tell you, if you want challenges, I'm your girl. Okay. As far as, but you will get there. I started medical school at 35 years old after being rejected when I was 23 years old. So I'm here to tell you, I'm living proof you will get there.
Excellent. I see that there's the president. It looks like Babers. I just saw that in the chat. I definitely want her to speak about what she's doing with her club. It looks like with either pre-meds or medical students. And then I've got a student here that I can see, Fatimata Sumare. I see your hand up first. Yes.
Hi, she's from Atlanta.
Yes, absolutely. Fatimata, the floor is open to you.
Okay, yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Fatima. So right now I'm kind of in an interesting place. I graduated from U of I last May. So I'm finished with all my prereq requirements. I'm currently studying for the Mcat and I hope to take it in the spring. So the support that I need is someone who can commit time to helping me build a strong AMCAS application. That's the medical school application, because I will be applying next summer. So someone who can review my personal statement and provide feedback and my activity descriptions, who can help me build a school list and like how to build one, where to apply, and just like how to communicate with schools even after I apply and when to reach out.
Very Excellent. Good. Very good. That's the kind of stuff I want to hear, you know?
I think we do that actually traditionally very well, in the sense of trying to keep up with those students, because as I happen to sit as a final selection committee member for a school of medicine, I'm the last person that looks at an application of the 7,000 applicants that have come through for only 50 spots. So I can tell you what it takes to get into med school, given our particular average MCAT score for the school is 517. No, you don't need 517 to get in. And the average GPA for our students is 3.7. No, you don't need 3.7 to get in either. But I happen to sit on the committee that makes those decisions. And I'm also the person that's constantly pulling the 505s and the 500s on the MCAT. I'm constantly rooting, screaming, and talking down the people who feel that a 517 is superior than a 505. The ones that say that this GPA is not necessarily truly reflective of this student, but then when you see it in the Black student somehow or another, it is a reflection that they're not going to do well. That's me on the committee. That's what it means to be having a seat at the table. So when I say that I think we could do that well for you, we can. We ask that you show up as prepared as you can be. So whatever mentor we put you with, when we say that I need you to send us your MCAP application or what you're putting together, put it together, do the best you can. And then that person will go over it with you. If it happens to be me, I don't have a problem with it. I'll go over it with you. And then we'll put together the strongest application that we can. I think that all of us should be applying, depending upon how strong your scores are and how strong that application is as a whole, probably at least 25 to 30 schools, okay? So, and yes, we've got resources for how you pay for that, because I know it can be a bit expensive as well. I do see Dr. LaTanya White on the call. That's Wayne State, I believe, that's in the house.
Yes, Wayne State.
Speak to us, speak to us. I need your name, your school, and why you are an exceptional mentor already, but why you want to be a mentor.
Okay, so I am Dr. LaTanya White. I am a family medicine physician at Kaiser in Woodland Hills, but I only do urgent care right now. I've been around ABWP for quite some time. Even I started as a medical student. So that's one reason why it's important for me to be a mentor. But, oh my goodness, sorry, it's a call coming in. And how do I decline? Sorry. Like, how do I
Actively
decline?
working, yes.
I'm getting old. But yeah, it's very important for me to be a mentor because I hear all of the stories. We've all been through the struggles. I'm also a non-traditional student. I went through college, military, before going to med school. So of course, I'm a non-traditional student. And so I just want to offer, my support as you go through the process, somebody for you to talk to, somebody for you to run things by. And, we're the pipeline to you guys coming up. We've been where you've been.
Thank you so much, Dr. White. I appreciate it, especially given that you're running the urgent care down there. So appreciate it.
I feel like I am.
Yeah.
If you working for my people, I know you are. Okay.
I was dubbed the urgent care champion yesterday.
That just means you get more patients. That's exactly how that goes. Absolutely.
So there are
Absolutely.
some things in the chat, Dr. Hines. I don't know if you want me to read them or not.
Yeah, Chanel was supposed to be helping me. Dr. Sherrod, I'll take it. I saw something with Morgan Babers. Is it Babers or Babers? She needs to speak to from Atlanta, I think. And I see two hands are up too.
Do you
Yes,
want
Dr. Sherrod.
Okay, this is from Darlene. She said, I think I'm really just looking to be surrounded by more Black women who are physicians because I have not been able to get that. Moreover, I feel like I've been broken down by those in the majority during this journey. I can understand. I need some additional support to help me restart this process effectively. I'm really looking for wisdom. At this time, I'm a graduate student at the Charles Ardrey University. I also am working at Long Beach Memorial as a lab tech. That's Darlene.
All right,
another
Darlene.
one from Morgan Barbers who said, we're looking for MCAT help and resources, scholarship help, research, and guidance through the field in general. There are a lot of ins and outs that we truly know nothing about. As expected, a lot of us are first generation college students, and more importantly, first generation med students. Any help is truly appreciated.
Wonderful.
That's Morgan.
That's who we are. That is part of our mission and vision.
Is
with
there
this
some way
organization.
that I'm old school. I don't know how to save this chat, but it's valuable because this is the kind of information I need for us to have a meaningful mentorship to really know what you guys need. So is there going to be a way where I'll be
Chanel's in the background.
The chat.
Okay.
She got
wonderful. Perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't have to keep taking notes.
Right.
Well, notes are good, right?
Yeah.
That's actively involved. So you can like keep up. I got you though. Yes.
So
yes.
the lady from Atlanta, I think she is the director of women, what did she say? Women in medicine at Clark University, I believe.
Is that Clark? Right across from, what is that? Right across from Morehouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So because I see Christina Andrade, I see Fatih Saka. I'm going to go to Christina Andrade, then Fatih, and then Morgan. If I'm calling out of order, I'm sorry, just raise your hand because I want everybody to be able to really, as best you can. We have 33 on the call and at least 6 or 7 of them are attendings. I also saw Dr. Nzinga Graham. That's my girl. She's on my colleague, sorry, trying to be professional. She's on the call too. These women are just amazing. You know what I mean? And I want you guys to hear from them, especially just feeling like you got sisterhood around you because Black Girl Magic is on this call. And you just don't get just a chance to see that. And that's why I want every time you see us, every time you come on now, Christina Andrade. Yes, ma'am. I see you, lady.
Hi, I'm Christina. I just graduated from Georgia State in May, and I was working in the orthopedic surgery office for some time as a medical assistant, but I had just decided to leave because a lot of the doctors there I felt were kind of discouraging. They're all white males. And even though as much as like I can help them, they kind of would just make me feel incompetent. And it was just very stressful. So I'm trying to study for the Mcat right now. And I feel like I just need some encouragement and guidance along this process to applying to medical school next cycle. Because I don't really have that school connection with any pre-meds anymore that I had when I was at Georgia State.
Sounds excellent. I think Wanda, put this on your list. We are going to have a Zoom call and we are going to work together. And in 1 hour, I'm going to teach every single attending what is necessary to put that AMCAS application together.
Perfect.
And then
Perfect.
y'all gonna be satellites to say the right things to the students about what they need to do. Now, clearly we can reinforce it. But I think, first of all, I got to get that kind of information out there so that everybody knows what's happening in 2021 and 2022 about the application process.
Because I'm thinking of MCAT scores. I'm like, I thought they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you talking about
no, darling, they're on quartiles and no. All right. So
that was back in the 89s. Okay.
I got you. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's still an entrance exam. Okay. And no, they ain't gonna get rid of it. So for all the people that think it's going away, it ain't. There are certain schools that don't necessarily require the MCAT, but you know why? Because all of the applicants have a GPA of probably 3.9 and above. So they don't need your MCAT. Okay. So for those of us who are going to need it as a qualifying factor, I want to help you to get that information. Thank you so much, Christina Andrade. Fatih Saka.
Hi, everyone. My name is Fatih, and I'm currently completing a post-bac at Cal State East Bay in Hayward. So I'll be done in December. And I'm very getting discouraged by the whole process. Just like recently I've been trying to get shadowing, and a lot of time I'll get people that would say yes. And a lot of them are like white male or white female. And they would say, oh yeah, come in, and I'll go there, and they just completely ignore me or don't ever respond. So sorry if I'm breaking down, but
that's okay.
Just breathe, baby. We in a circle of trust.
That's
Remember
right.
we had us meeting at my house? And I'd be like, we in a circle of trust. We get it.
Crying is good for you, Sarah.
It really is.
Thank you. So, I mean, I think I'm working really hard to have like a strong application for next year. And shadowing is like one thing that I lack. And I recently went to a UC Davis conference, and a lot of the DO schools are saying they really need a doctor's letter, even though with COVID, that has not changed. So without me not being able to shadow a doctor, it's nearly impossible to get a letter, if that makes sense. So I definitely just need someone to talk to and get words of encouragement, and also to get some guidance as far as how to go about reaching out to doctors and building relationship that way. Thank you.
Well, you got plenty on the line. You got plenty on the line, and we're the same color as you.
Thank you.
I certainly appreciate it. I want to let you know that I do know a lot of physicians in Northern California as part of the Kaiser Permanente family, and specifically those physicians that are part of Kaiser Oakland. So let's see what I can do. You got to get in contact with me. Put your name in the chat so that I can contact some of my folks up at Kaiser Oakland and see what we can do. Here's where I feel like I can parlay some of that. Y'all see my face on everything that say Kaiser. You name it, my face is up there with my hair. So since they are exploiting me, right, to be the face of Kaiser, because blackness is in right now.
Yes.
I think that there's nothing wrong with me trying to really, because I can do it down here in Southern California. It's not easy because of what's happening with the COVID restrictions, but I bet you I can find somebody that you could be able to shadow up there in Northern California. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. I do wanted to mention that everything is virtual right now, school. So I am in LA.
Oh.
Yeah, I am in LA, but I'm just doing school virtually until the end of December due to COVID. So
yeah. So my thought is this: if you think, this is for everybody on the call before we take the next person, that shadowing is going to make or break your application, let me straight up tell you that no. What makes the application is the combination, the duality, all of the application. Are you with me? Everybody listening? So from first year to second year to third year to fourth year, or how many years it took you to get through undergrad, looking at perhaps an upward trend in your academics, looking at when you are able to take very difficult courses by themselves and continue to do well. When you show me that if you recognize that your scores were not that great as far as your actual academics, that you took a post-bac program and did exceedingly well in the post-bac program, or was it a journey of 5 years, 10 years to get to this point where you were then consistent with doing well in those courses, and then you blew the MCAT out. What I absolutely know to be true is excellence is absolutely required. You will not be able to half-ass, I'm gonna say it on camera, and get in. That is not going to be your route. Mediocrity and half it ain't gonna work for Black people, and show not Black women. So if you feel like, but I did the best I could and I got a C+, can I just take my glasses off, look at you in this camera and say, sorry, I need better. If you have 1 C+, but you managed to get A's and B's and everything else, I'm gonna be all right with that. But let me say that a bunch of C's is torpedoing your application, and no amount of shadowing is gonna fix that. So academics are always still gonna be important. Your letters of recommendation are very important that speak to your investment in community, in the sciences, your why for medicine, all that's important. But if you think that just the shadowing plus mediocre grades and a barely making it MCAT, let me be clear. So we are here to let you know, how do you take your application to the next step? And that's what I'm going to at least impart to the mentors, and the mentors will add all of their individuality to it about their own personal experiences to help you. So I'm going to stop talking. It was Babers from Atlanta, right?
Yes, yeah, Babers is president of the Black Women in Medicine Club at Atlanta, Clark, Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
I would love for us to be mentored from you guys, is what.
Sure.
Yeah, so we have a connection in Atlanta. I mean, a group of women who want to be mentored.
Absolutely. So I would be more
know
than
a lot of women in Atlanta that are, starting with Jackie on Married to Medicine. I know a lot of them personally that would love, I could connect with them directly and try to make that connection, because I was in Atlanta for 10 years.
Fantastic.
Dr. Graham, you get ready to leave. Can you just say hi?
Yes.
Absolutely, I can. Hello, everyone. It's Singer Graham here. It's so good to see everyone's faces and hear everyone's voice. I apologize that I've been missing in action, though this little 4.5-month-old is kicking my butt right now, so I'm tired.
Yes. You keep making people. It's busy,
Yes.
Yeah.
It is busy. It is, and working full time too doesn't help. So absolutely, that is. I did want to just come and show some love to everyone and just say I'm, proud of our organization for continuing this, and young ladies that are in the application process now, definitely take to heart what Dr. Hines and our other mentors are saying here. I really want to echo what you just said. Required now. In times past, there was a way to kind of get in if you just had strong interest and you could sell yourself in the interview process, but that time has passed. Like now you got to be good on paper, in person, and show up. Show up, not just obviously physically, but when you're there, present and be engaged, because they want to see people who are actively engaged in that process of learning to care for patients. So that's all I wanted to say with hello and send my love. And this is an amazing group, and really listen out, ladies.
Dr. Graham, would you be interested in being a mentor? I'm looking for attendings to be mentors.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I will get in touch with you. I will find a way.
She's on the call. We got her.
We got her, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Good to hear from you.
Don't worry, I talk to her daily. I'll keep her in the loop.
Okay, good. See, connections all over the place.
Absolutely. I see 2 hands up for me, and I know Chanel may see others. Manuelda Kukumba. Yes, you got the floor.
Hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Manuelda. I am a current third year attending Pepperdine University. So I'm in undergrad. Sorry, I was already a mess, but I just want to express how grateful I am just for this space, because recently I've just really been struggling since getting into Pepperdine. I feel like I haven't seen a lot of people that look like me. A good percent of the population at Pep is white. We're located in Malibu, so a lot of the kids there are rich people with a lot of money. And usually when you do go to the advisor, the pre-med advisor, they either discourage you or like tell you, oh, maybe you should look into another field and stuff like that.
Been there, done that.
And
hello.
yeah. And recently I have just really had a hard time with like prerequisites and like knowing what I'm doing. And so I think something that I really need is like just needing someone to talk to about these things and like direction, and somebody that can actually encourage me and challenge me and not just bitter me just because I'm not doing well in general chem. Like, and that's usually like, you know, the first thing that people say is like, oh, maybe you're not meant cut out to be a doctor because you're not doing so well in chemistry. And so that's kind of like the energy I've been receiving. Recently, a lot of people telling me to like explore a different part rather than medicine, when I really know in my heart that this is something that I want to do and it's something that I want to commit to. But I just really don't know what I'm doing. Like, I really don't know what I'm doing, and I just really need support in like figuring out what my options are. And that's why when Fatty was talking, I really related to her, because I think she said she was doing the postbac at Cal State East Bay, which is something that I recently have been looking into as well. And so that is something that I would love to like talk to her about. But yeah, I'm just very grateful for this space, and I'm super thankful. So thank you so much for you guys, for your time.
Thank you so much for speaking. And if you take a look in the chat, you've already made a connection with one of our first year students who did very well in chemistry and perhaps might be able to mentor you through in supporting you. We also have, and Dr. Carlisle's on the phone, because believe me, we worked hard last year, or earlier this year, with the Mcat prep program. And we didn't necessarily get as much success with that program as we thought, but we've got a lot of metrics and a lot of good information. And perhaps maybe the biggest lesson, besides giving people more time and vetting our candidates, is that MCAT test preparation is important, but MCAT content is more important. And it appears that our undergraduate selection process pulled out people who we thought had a mastery of the content, when in fact what we were providing was test prep. So we have to go back and reassess that to some extent and see if there's anything else that we could do differently, because we can't run our own post-bac program. At least I don't believe we can. I don't know that we have the time or the energy to do so, or the money. But what we can do is direct you in places and spaces that can better prepare you. So I think that that's important as well. I see Dr. Willie Powell is on the line. I see the three. I see, if LaTanya's going to talk again, but I see Tanae Jordan, Danae Lacey, and I see Dr. Willie Powell. Dr. Powell, could you introduce yourself and tell us what med school you went to and why you want to be a mentor?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know, Saturday meetings are just, I'm doing laundry.
Yeah, you know, living your life. Yeah.
Gets away and I go, oh my God.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
So I'm sorry for being late.
It's all right.
But like Saturdays are, I don't know, a bit too busy. But okay. Anyway, I graduated from Meharry Medical College in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, it was a great experience. I truly enjoyed it there. So I don't remember what you said. Why did I attend?
Why do you want to be a mentor?
Oh, you know, I was part of this, oh gosh, what is the name? Years ago, I was a mentor on the Sister to Sister. I've always enjoyed mentoring young people. I do it in other organizations and wanted to continue. So I wanted to pick up where I left off some years ago being a mentor, because I think we all have a story to tell.
Yeah.
If that story can help someone, then I'm all for it. You know, you talk about, you know, young mothers making it through medical school, through training, with babies with drawings in your Gray's Anatomy book, you know, that was me. So, you know, to make it through, and I love giving back. And that's part of giving back, is being a mentor to those who need to be lifted up. And this, like the young lady before, you know, she just needs to talk to someone and kind of vent. And
wonderful.
we've all been there. So anything we can do to help, that sure is a blessing.
Thank you, Dr. Powell. I appreciate the love, and everyone on the call appreciate the love. The one thing that I was hoping many moons ago when I was taking over the Sister to Sister, because it was kind of defunct, it was a little quiet back in the day, is to make sure that this was an opportunity for people to feel that they were in a safe space, that they could express what it's like being in med school, what it's like being a physician, what it's like trying to get into med school. And I hope that we have kind of parlayed that even in the digital world, to letting people know that there are faces and spaces that look like yours, that are in places that can support and love on you, and let you know that no, you are not reaching for some star that you can't achieve. Because there are people sitting right here in front of you that have achieved it and then some. So I'm excited to be able to say that. I see some more hands up here. Tanae Jordan, or if I may be masquerading your name, but I see your name, your hand is up.
No, it's good. Thank you so much. Pretty much for me, what I'm looking for as far as is a mentorship. I just turned 40 this year. I'm a complete non-traditional student, and I have a year and a half to go to finish my prereqs. And I had just made the decision to stop listening to everybody and just go for what I felt was right and pursuing a career in medicine. And I really need mentorship and help with editing myself, because I've, lived and I've had experiences, and I can be very idealistic and have these big dreams. And we know that with the statistics and insurance and medicine, the way that it's working right now is not really working for people. So teaching myself how to work within the system without, offending people, but also using that passion that I have to make the proper changes. So just learning how to maneuver those spaces, because I was raised to treat people how you want to be treated. And I'm just starting to learn that in some of the spaces that I've been in with, because I'm a doula, so I'm working with midwives and different OBs, just the lack of professionalism and the mistruths and the lies that are being told to the mothers and everything else has just been a very eye-opening journey to me, that I thought that the level of professionalism was something different, but for some people it's not. So just learning how to not take things personal, learning how to edit myself, and learning how and when to pick and choose when to not. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for help with.
Thank you, Tanae Jordan. And I think that it's not because you are, 40 years young. You are speaking universally for everyone that's on the call that might be 20 years young. That kind of transitioning, from one state to another, whether you are lived your life and been a professional and now are transitioning in a different career, or still in the healthcare profession and now moving forward. I think all of that is very helpful. And I would say that we are absolutely the group to support you in that. No question. No question. Thank you for giving us that, sharing that with us. I'm trying to make sure I get through the names here. Danae Lacey. Oh, LaTanya put her hand back up. I put her hand down, but I didn't know if she wanted to go back up. Okay, Danae Lacey.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Danae.
I'm not that good with Zoom, but I apologize.
You're doing well.
Okay, great. I just wanted to mention that tutoring chemistry was my means of putting myself through college. So anyone, and I mean anyone who has questions about general chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic, use me. I'm here for you. I know that I'm here. You can reach out to me anytime.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm here. I'll actually put my, I think it's in the group chat, right?
Yeah, Danae, I saw yours and I will.
Yeah, you put it in the chat. That's going to be very helpful.
That's helpful. Anyone email me, I got you.
Excellent. Excellent.
So I'm actually a 4th year medical student, and
hey now.
Thank you.
She's interested in OBGYN.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm extra interested. Okay.
I first generation in medicine, and I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cry.
Take a breath.
It's just me.
Take a breath.
Take a
Just
deep
breathe in, breathe out. We said we family. Breathe in and breathe out.
I appreciate this space so much, and I wish I had it when I was applying to medical school, because it would have just prevented so many mistakes. It is so frustrating being Black in medicine, knowing that you have the passion and the drive, and to constantly be faced with microaggressions from white people who don't want this half as much as you do. It is the most frustrating feeling ever.
You speaking for all of us, you know that, right?
Yep.
There's not an attending on this call. I know that. There's not a pre-med on this call. There's not a med student on the call. And definitely the residents and fellows are getting kicked out of them every day. That doesn't understand what it's like to show up ready, able, and qualified and be hit on a daily with, no, you ain't. This what you did wrong. And not what you did wrong, but you are wrong.
Exactly.
And here is a space where you know you didn't get here by accident. Did nobody let you in med school?
Thank you.
Nobody. They don't want you there. By virtue of, look at how we got 45 people on this call, but can I tell you, we still only make up what percent? Ain't nobody let us do nothing. But we still here. We still excelling. We still showing people and showing out how amazing that we are. Ask about the COVID vaccine and my sister who darn near just come on. So we here for you, Danae. We understand. We can do whatever we can to help and support you and to take advantage of whatever opportunities are at your medical school and resources. Maybe you need some headspace and some mental wellness. Maybe walking this road for the next few weeks, a few months might not be just, maybe you need a leave of absence. Or more importantly, maybe you just need to share. But whatever that is, we are here for it, all of it. Because this is the one space where you can be extra Black. Can I say that? It ain't many spaces you can be extra Black. Here's one of them. We so appreciate you, Danae. But you were talking, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but is there more that what you wanted from us? Is just be us and be connected with somebody that just gonna be Black and tell you about medicine? Because we can do that too. Well, we can do that.
So what medical school is Danae at now?
What school?
With you, right?
Yeah.
I'm at Washington University.
In St. Louis?
In St. Louis.
Oh, girl, I'm from St. Louis. All my family's there.
No, so
I knew there was
actually
something
not
about you.
Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint. It's actually not. It's a Caribbean medical school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So are you doing your rotations now in the United States? Or
Yes,
at least
ma'am.
you know. Okay.
Yes. So my core rotations were in Michigan, and now I'm in Atlanta, Georgia for a OBGYN sub-I.
All right.
Elective, I should say.
Okay. Okay. And so you're interested in, as far as residency, because you know that's coming. It's trying to apply.
So I'm applying for the next cycle.
For the next cycle? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I just became 4th year.
All right, then. I got it. So you're just trying to get this application prepared so that you can submit. And it's still through the same, not AMCAS, but through ERAS, right? Is it DO school?
No, it's an MD school. You're correct. It's still
right.
ERAS.
So it's still ERAS, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we got the same expectations. That don't change.
Absolutely.
All right, then. Well, once again, we can help you as best we can. Well, how you say, we meet you where you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can do the best we can. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Yeah, because they beating up on you. Ain't no question.
Yeah. Big time.
I know. I get it. No, I'm over. I'm going to look to the left. I see Amara Anaya. I know her. I always kill her name. Amara, question?
Yes.
Hey.
Hi. It's
Hi.
you guys. So yeah, I definitely appreciate Sister to Sister, and I had to take myself off of camera because you guys are making me cry out of camera. But anyway, I'm currently super excited in the application cycle right now. I am still trying to turn in my secondary applications. The whole plan was to do this earlier, but my mom, she's a nurse and she fell on the job, and so she had to end up surgery. So a lot of this stuff that I had planned to do has been pushed. So yes, I'm still working on turning in secondaries. And I think the most important thing that I guess I can have help right now, if anybody's willing, is to look through some of my secondary responses. I have some difficulty like trying to think of like the best way to wrap up your entire diversity within 100-word essay. Like I just don't know how to do that. But that's what I'm currently struggling at the moment. Like when I'm done with this meeting, I'm going to go and just like work on trying to do this. And then following that, God willing, I get interviews. It would be great to review or practice interview prep with somebody as well. Yeah, that's the stage I'm at right now.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. Grateful for this community. You kind of forget that you have something like this when you're in your own little bubble away from everybody during COVID. And so just like coming back and hearing this is just really helpful. It's just so wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I don't know how people are connected to mentors. Should I leave my
Just put your name in the chat.
Yes.
Put your name in the chat, put your contact information in there. You could also, because we are recording this, so this is an opportunity, because I think we put it on, I think Chanela put it on our YouTube little channel we have. You could go to a website, well, it's not a website, but send me an email, which is abwp sister, the number 2 sister @gmail.com. It's already in the email. I mean, in the chat. So abwp sister to sister @gmail.com, or you can put your name because we are saving the chat and all that good stuff too. So for those on the call who have, obviously not applied to medical school, but are anticipating it, I'm going to say this in less than 60 seconds. The process of applying to medical school requires biology, chemistry, physics, and math, 2 years. Biology, chemistry, physics, and math, 2 years. All other is every other class that's not biology, chemistry, physics, and math. Done. You don't even have to graduate from undergrad. Biology, chemistry, physics, and math. Now, once you do that, then you have to take the MCAT. MCAT's offered almost every single month throughout the year, and then it stops for a little while and then it restarts. The MCAT is a combination of content and your ability to apply the information from biology, chemistry, physics, and math, and your sincere ability to understand the English language and to pick out in large, long passages what the information is and how to apply what those questions are. It is not easy. It's for a reason, to weed out people who they don't think should be part of their group. When I say they, everybody on this line know who I'm talking about. So there is a way, though, to figure out how to do better on the MCAT, test preparation. And we actually started a program to do that. But there's also content. So if you don't have the foundation of biology, chemistry, physics, and math, it's going to be hard. You ain't got to get A's in everything, but you cannot give me straight C's and D's, because I'm going to tell you, you're not going to be able to understand and be able to converse fast enough on that test. And that's where those post-bac programs come in. But let's say you've done well enough. You took the MCAT, you turned in your AMCAS, the American Medical Scholastic or whatever service test, whatever, that's that website. You turn in the application, you turn it into whatever number of schools, they send you a secondary. That is a secondary application based on your primary application that says specific to Washington University, St. Louis, to UCLA. You apply to a bunch of schools with a generalized application. It then gets sent to the actual schools. The schools decide that they think they want to talk to you. They send you a secondary. If they send you a secondary about their school, you answer appropriately. They like your answers. Here come the interview. Here's where the Black people do well and the brown people. When they get in front of somebody and talk about their passion and talk about what they want to do, you in likely, but you got to get there. And that means that that secondary application has to be specific enough about why you really want to go to that school that says, I want to offer you an interview. But before you can get there, I need the primary application to be strong as possible so that you can send it out to as many schools as possible in order to do well. That's part of what we do with Sister to Sister. Now, what was Wanda talking about, Dr. Wilburn? What all these other doctors talking about? The mindset and mental wellness in order to get to that point so that you can stand strong in your belief and your why in medicine so that you are ready to go forward and not let anybody tell you what you can't do. Because everybody on this call has not ever believed what somebody told them they couldn't do. That's why they got MD or DO behind their name. And that's why I believe many of you are on this call to listen to people who managed to get MD or DO behind their name because they never took no for an answer. Because people gonna keep telling you no until you get in the grave. Next, LaTanya White.
Hi, I just wanted you to get through the students. I know you were going through them and listen to what you were saying about the MCAT. That's why I keep putting my hand up and down, so I'm not interrupting. But, just to piggyback on what what you said, and I was just listening to all of the students speak, and, it's difficult. And I just had a conversation with my nephew, not going to medical school or anything like that, just a general conversation. And I was telling him that the change, when you decide to do something, is the sacrifice. It's the sacrifice because you sometimes cannot continue doing the same thing and move forward, right? It's that change and that sacrifice and that focus. And some of you are on the call who've heard me, tell my little story before, but when it was time for me to study for the MCAT, I was broke. I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. I was out here in California with no family. And I said, you know what? I'm going to study for this exam. I'm going to take me 3 months. And I studied every single day. I would not answer my phone except on a Sunday. 3 straight months, 4 hours a day, 8 hours every Saturday and Sunday for 3 straight months. And I said, I'm taking the test and I'm applying because I have more to offer than the MCAT.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I got in.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a sacrifice, it's a focus, and you belong. You have to have the courage to know you belong and do what you want to do. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to go into family medicine. That was just it. So when I went to undergrad, after being in the military, I went with, a group of friends. They're still my friends now. But when I went to undergrad, it was to go to pre-med, to go to medical school. That's why I got out of the military. That was my sacrifice. I couldn't be in the military full time and take biology lab classes during the day. That wasn't going to work. So I got out of the military to go to school to become a doctor. That was it. There was never anything else in my mind. And that's what I focused on. And that's what I did. And I did whatever it took to do that. And if that meant I couldn't talk to you, I couldn't talk to you. I went back to Detroit for medical school after being gone. That's where I'm from. I really didn't see anybody that 4 years. I thought I was going to see cousins and, what have you. Yeah, I'm going to go back to Detroit, but that didn't happen because I needed to focus, and that's what I did. And when I went to school, I did the best that I could. I never compared, and I did well. I just never compared myself to anyone else. I did the best that I could, and that was it. And then in terms of diversity, I think coming from Detroit is pretty much all African-American, 99%. But when I went into the military, that exposed me to other cultures, other people. So I was very comfortable among other people. And you have to become comfortable around other people where you don't feel like you're different. You don't feel like you stand out. I can sit in any room and sometimes I don't realize I'm Black. I'm the only one Black in the room. Because
it's so normal at this point.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's where you want to be. You want to be where you're sitting in the room. You don't even realize you're the only Black person in the room because you're so comfortable. And so once you get to that point, it does make a big difference. And I just want to say that how I found ABWP as a med student is because I talked to another doctor, an African-American male in Chicago. He's an ophthalmologist. And I said, what's your advice? He said, find your resources. He said, find your support system. And I got online and I found ABWP. And that was probably the best thing I did because I love being a part of this group. I love hearing everyone. And it's just such a good group of women to be around.
Wonderful. LaTanya is all that. I love her. And she told me about Kaiser too, and Dr. Roberta Doucet, and I ended up at Kaiser. Dr. Swilley was telling me about Kaiser at a time when I was like, I don't know. And look at me now. But I say thank you, LaTanya, Dr. White, for giving us your narrative, your story about sacrifice, because I have said this on many an occasion. If you think you are going to become a physician working full time with children and all the other engagements that you have, I'm going to tell you that is next to almost impossible. I did not say that you can't have kids. I didn't say you can't have a husband, and I didn't say you can't have a job. But if you think that you can pull it off with the full-time job, the nice apartment, it's not. You got to get to the point that you really are starting to sacrifice, and it might potentially mean you sleeping on somebody's couch. You'd have moved back in with your parents. You'd have sold your car.
Exactly.
You have decided to work part-time. I'm telling you, because I know it's true. There are some exceptionally bright people out there that can just put every ball in the air and none of them fall. I haven't met any of them yet. I met close. But in order to do as well as you're going to need to do, and that's the limit of whatever your capacity is academically, it's not going to be able to be done not giving your full attention to your education. So I put that out there because many times people will say, but I did my best. I studied so hard and I was doing everything I could. And then you find out that they were still working 8 hours a day. You find out that they were still obviously having to keep a roof over their head, and they were paying their rent. In LA, it's $2,000 a month for a 1 or 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom. It's something ridiculous, $3,000 a month. And so you have to figure out, okay, well, how can I do this? And those are the kind of sacrifices I think sometimes people don't think about. Maybe I will have to move back in with my parents for this period of time. Maybe I can't study for the exam right now, but I can do it next summer when I can find this block of time. I always give this, it's the demonic symbol 666, but I say 6 weeks for 6 hours a day for 6 days a week. MCAT.
That's it.
It can be done. Now, 6 hours a day is ridiculous, but 6 hours a day includes bathroom and food breaks, no friends, no boyfriend. And if it's 6 hours, you still got how many more hours of the day to sleep? I said 6 days, I give you 1 day. If you want to choose Sunday, fine with me. That's it. Now, can you do that? 6 weeks, that's what I need. And I need.
Tanya, can I just interrupt you?
Absolutely.
I mean, and I would never tell you guys to take a show of hands, but I'm concerned, and I want you guys to feel that you can reach out, not probably in a forum like this, but about issues of test taking, issues of studying, because personally, that's what I have to own. There was nobody to guide me in how to study and how to take a test. And therefore, currently, I am not board certified. And when I took, I'm an OBGYN, CREOGS, I barely passed all my CREOGS. And so, I want to reach out to you ladies that if that's an issue, that issue is not going to go away when you're in your residency training. I can only speak to OBGYN, but every year you had to take CREOGS. So if you thought USMLE was the end, it wasn't. And then you got boards. So, this is really important that if, I got a 1 in reading when they used to go 1 through 13, and someone from Harvard, I met them in the summer, and they helped me and made me recognize that I didn't have reading comprehension skills, and I had finished up UCLA for 12 years, so, what gets to my heart is, you've heard LaTanya talk about what is required, but, if we go to the root of the problem, if you don't know how to study, and you don't know, you have reading issues, because if you can't read, you can't study chemistry, biology, and physics. And a lot of us get passed through and we don't recognize and we don't want to own that we have those issues. But we've got to own those issues so that we can get positive feedback when we take our MCATs, when we take our board exams. So I just really, that's near and true to my heart. And I want you ladies that, if not me, and I'm sure there's other people here, reach out to us for that, because if we can't help you, we can send you to somebody who can, because I found those somebody. So there are people out there that will help us. So just own it while you can, because those tests are not going away, like LaTanya said.
We got about 6 more minutes, and because I want to be respectful of everyone's time. And even though this is our final Sister to Sister, as you know, we have a Sister to Sister meeting every other month, starting in the new year. And sometimes we do it month to month because we're working so hard. Our Mcat prep program, we're trying to do the best we can to continue with the funding for that program so that we can continue test preparation with the Mcat, so that we can help many of you with your applications when all you just need is to get across that finish line with the Mcat and to get the strongest score that you can. And I know that, like I said, we've got 6 minutes. I gotta be quiet because I want everybody, as best you can, to get in there and to talk about it, because test taking, when I said 6 hours, what I'm doing in those 6 hours, even in the first hour, is recognizing what it is that I don't know, deciding if it's important enough to go back and study content. And if it's not hurting me to take, with the number of questions I might be missing on that, I'm going to move on to the next step. And you got to learn that early. Okay. You also got to learn how to get out of your own head so that you're not talking yourself out of answering the questions appropriately, because time is not just it, because you can spend a lot of time studying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing. So that's also part of test prep and content. That's why post-bac programs can be really, really helpful at making sure that you take those courses that you didn't do as well in before and actually take the time without all the other distractions to really, really study and to do well. Next, other questions?
I just would like to make one comment just to reinforce what Dr. White said, LaTanya White, in talking about focus, knowing what you want to do. I think it was Deepak Chopra who said, and I quote, "Focus your attention on the intention." So you need to know what you want to do. And then the universe works out the detail. You don't have to know how, you just have to know what you want to do. And you put that into the universe, and that super force in the universe, who some people call God, works it out. But you have to be focused. Like she said, she focused, even though people were saying whatever, you stand in your truth and focus on what you want to do, and you can do it. Know what you want to do and focus on that.
Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Sherrard. We're starting to wind down. I don't see any other hands up. Wanda, I'm going to give the last, because Dr. Wilburn has just been an amazing. First of all, can I tell you that I went to school with Dr. Wilburn? I was a freshman
Yeah, we go way back
at UCI College of Medicine, and she was a senior. And I was so excited to watch her on match day when she matched at Emory University, and she was going into OBGYN. She was the only real person that I knew that wanted to do exactly what I wanted to do. And she was my mentor watching her. And I ended up going into OBGYN just a year later when I graduated, because I did general surgery as a transitional surgery program, and then went into UCLA King Drew's program for OBGYN. And I am tremendously always grateful to a previous alumni who paved the way for me. And I'm proud to say that she is an amazing colleague. That's what this program is. And as Dr. Sherrard said, the universe, I believe, brought you here today. I was thinking that we weren't going to have as many people, because even though we had puffed this up, it's the holidays, it's a weekend. I was thinking, ain't nobody gonna be on this call. But I am so glad to see so many of you on the call. And I hope that it has been helpful. I hope it's been a blessing to you. And I hope that you know that we are here and we ain't going nowhere. And we'll do what we can to help you. But remember, it ain't on us 100%. You got to do the work. Yeah. So when we talk with you as mentors about what it's going to take, you can't give me the pushback and say, well, I just can't do that. Then I say, well, perhaps you just can't you ain't gonna get in. Right. With this, right. You got to give me some work.
Right, right.
LaTanya has said it, Dr. White, Dr. Nzinga said, it may be at one point you could get in without having such academic excellence. Not anymore. You've always needed academic excellence. I think Dr. Nzinga just meant you didn't need a 90th percentile on the MCAT. How about that? But I'm saying that, yes, you can get in.
I have the GPA.
Yeah, I know the numbers, and I know just how far down the numbers can go. All right. But there's no question that for that newer MCAT, which is what we're dealing with right now, you can get in with a 500. That's the 50th percentile. But I mean, your application's got to be stellar, where you start to be very competitive to some extent, especially as an African-American candidate, is at about the 80th or 75th percentile, which is about 508 to 510. The maximum MCAT score is 528. And yes, I've seen 528. And as far as GPAs are concerned, you need to be competitive. And I know that people are like, well, my friend had a 2 point such and such. I don't care what your friend had. What do you have? Right. And what does that translate to with regard to how well you've done throughout all your courses? If you can just get somebody to read the application, and there are 150 plus medical schools in this nation, 150, y'all, we're asking you to apply to at least 30 plus, 25 to 30. And depending upon how competitive your application is, it might be more, is that there are people at those medical schools, and I got a whole list of them, that every time you check the box, African-American, your application is pulled out of the stack digitally and read personally by somebody who's committed at that school to say, we want to increase our numbers of African-American and Latinx students. There's a lot of schools I know that in. So you want to get pulled out of that stack. However, when they pull it, you got to show and prove. There's a lot of Black girl magic on this call. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for 528, and they ain't looking for a 3.7. But you can't talk to them at a 2.2 and just say, the Lord told me this is what I want to do. Well, the Lord gonna tell you to go back to school, because we're gonna need you to be stronger. Okay. So I'm just, you know me, y'all, I tell the truth as I best that I know it. Okay. We are now at 3:31. You know, Wanda was on. Sylvia, Dr. Carlisle, you want to take us out? This is our MCAT prep, got us $150,000+ to support them students. We love us some Dr. Carlisle. Want to take us out?
Okie doke. So
she's static.
Dr. Carlisle, and that doggone
can you hear me? Okay. You
got you. I got you. I always talk about your, I talk about your Wi-Fi so bad. I know. I got you. We neighbors. She lived right around
the reason I mentioned being from Portland, Oregon, is that growing up in Portland, I was told more than 60 years ago that I would never be a doctor.
Whoa.
I've been told that my entire life.
Wow.
I've got more receipts on that conversation. And yet I have had a career as a doctor. I have a career as a doctor, and I am making a contribution. So part of the safety in this group is there are people who have been in your shoes and can help show you that if you have the discipline to make the sacrifices, to do the hard work, you do belong, even when they gaslight you and macroaggression every day.
Right.
And that this sisterhood is how you keep from pulling your hair out of your head and going crazy. So you belong here. There's a lot yet to be learned. We as an organization believe in the program we launched, and we'll be trying to get more funding for round 2, although it is not guaranteed. But we're here for you.
And I'm going to say Dr. Wilburn, and then I'm going to close out with Dr. Sherrard. Dr. Wilburn?
I've said all I can say.
Dr. Sherrard, you're closing.
I'm just grateful that we have so many people on today. I am really impressed, and it gives me more energy. And I want to say to all of you, keep the faith. The faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So keep the faith and hang in there. And if you need one of us, get our numbers. You can call me at home. I'll give you my number now, 310
my number in the chat.
215-3374. That's my home number. Call me anytime if you need to talk. If I can help you do anything, I will help you.
Absolutely. And then, you know, I always give everybody my number because I believe that it's out there on the internet anyway. Ready? 310. I'm on everything anyway, right? Because Kaiser exploited me anyway. 310-463-5557. 310-463-5557. Now I do have a huge robo phone cop on my phone that will block all kinds of stuff. So what you have to do is, first of all, you have to call me more than once if you get it blocking you. Because once it calls, you call twice and it's an unknown number, you have to leave that message and say who you are. I'm student so-and-so. I'm interested in whatever, and I'd like to discuss with you whatever, okay? Can I tell you that I am a surgeon? So I'm right to the point. I love my family practice people, internal medicine, and they can listen to your narrative for the longest and then come up with a plan of management. That ain't me. Get right to the point. Why you calling me? So I know exactly what's happening. Okay. And I'll get back to you as quickly as possible.
Like a surgeon.
That's just how I am. Y'all know it. I got issues. I got blind spots. I'm just doing the best I can. All right. And if you text me, I will answer text. Okay. But you always have to tell me who you are in the text. That's probably faster, really fast. Just text me. And then what I do is I save the text and then I'll go back and call you later or set up like a Zoom. And I'll tell you, please set up the Zoom. I'm available this day. Send it to me. Why? Because I can't remember. But if you set the Zoom up and you remind me, it's because you invested. And then I'll show up. Okay. And then we can talk like 30 minutes or whatever. I should listen to you for 30 minutes and try to get as much information as possible and help. And like I said, Wanda, you're on this line. Let's set this up for the attendings, and we're going to try to make sure maybe we send a doodle or whatever that thing is. We can try to get as many attendings as possible in one space, and I'm going to do the best I can to educate all of you about what's the latest stuff about the MCAT and what's the latest on an AMCAS application, so you know what it's supposed to say and do, and then that's it. And then you guys will be able to at least say, nah, that may not be as competitive, but I have somebody as a resource you might be able to talk to. So you don't feel like you don't know the answer, because I'm gonna give you the answers.
Right. Thank you,
Okay.
Tony. I appreciate that. Someone just put in the chat, I placed my number 760-810-1609, but I'm going to be talking to Chanel because expect an email from me on several of them. I've been reading the chat and trying to absorb personally how I want to. I'm really a person that likes to talk to you on the phone because I'm just old school. I'm 67 years old, so I'm not used to all the texting and emailing and all that, but I'm getting better, between Cosette and getting on my case. I'm working hard to bring myself forward. So you got my phone number. I'm available. I'm single. I don't have kids. I'm semi-retired. So I'm here for you ladies.
Excellent.
On both the cognitive and non-cognitive issues. Okay.
Can you repeat your number? There's one question that says, is the test preparation only need-based? Maybe that's to Dr. Carlisle. I don't think it is it?
No, we didn't do that. We actually,
that's right.
No. There's Carlisle. She's talking.
Yeah, she's on.
So
Wi-Fi is not working though.
Proud of us, we should a program launch in 90 days. So we picked by looking at people's grade, where were their grades? It wasn't financial.
So what are you saying? She went in and out. What is she
Okay,
saying?
what I can say for Dr. Carlisle's Wi-Fi is that we did not use. It's just we said, me and Dr. Carlisle sat for 3 days.
Digital technology,
Girl, you better leave Sylvia alone. Is that no? It's not need-based. What we did was we asked people to invest $200 into the program, and we would give the money back. And unfortunately, we ended up not giving much of that money back, not because we don't have it, but because they didn't fulfill the contract, which was to take the MCAT when we wanted them to, but we still allowed most of them to still have access to the information if they were going to take the MCAT later. And we thought that that was a happy medium, because technically we said that we would give the MCAT, give the $200 back to all the students who applied if they were actively invested in the program. And because we can monitor the program, we saw that it wasn't as many of those students who were actively engaging. So we have to figure out, was that on our part? Because they had full carte blanche to access to live instruction, as well as all of the information that it was Kaplan who could provide for those students. And so we just felt like you got access and, oh, I'm sorry. MCAT prep for Kaplan is $1,500 to $1,800 per student. times 50 plus students that we had in the program. And we asked them to give $200 and we gave $200 back to most of them. So it was a free program. So in that sense, here's an opportunity where most students, regardless of their financial situation, have to come up with the money to use to get into a test prep program, because it's hard just to study for the MCAT without having test prep, usually. That's just how it is. So we said, can we help students in that regard? So it's a whole lot to it, but ultimately we're gonna do our best and see if we can do it again next year. So, but that's test prep, but that's like logistics. As far as mentorship, you know, we'll talk about everything. And Dr. Wilburn has really kind of helped with that. So like I said, I'm trying to appreciate your time. We're 10 minutes over. So I want to say bye-bye and then look forward to hearing from everybody. I'll do my best. Remember, if you send me stuff on my phone, okay, I'm doing the best I can, all right? I will send you a response and then you have to remember what I said to you and then send me back a response and say, this is the day that I have. Are you available? I'm like, I'm full. That's cool. And then, so evenings, I can just say right now, evenings I'm pretty good. It depends, but definitely 6 or 7 o'clock Pacific time. I'm always home by then. I do use my weekends to support what I believe is my passion in supporting students and increasing the pipeline of women in medicine. And, you know, I think 30 minutes is easy. We can do 30 minutes. I can really take a look at, and I'll ask you to send stuff to the email. Remember, abwpsister2sister@gmail.com. So when I say, well, I need to see what your grades are, send them to me. Don't tell me that I don't know what my GPA is for my biology, chemistry, physics, and math. Y'all smart people, you know exactly what your grades are. You just are feeling a bit insecure about the number. Tell me the number. If you tell me it's 2.5, you know what I'm gonna say. Well, no, that's not as competitive as it could be, right? Did you finish all of your prerequisites or did you have difficulty? Did you take a post background? I'm gonna ask you the truth. So I expect you to show up with the truth. If you're not telling me the truth or your mentor's the truth, then you are not getting out of this program at least what you think you could get. That's not on us. All right? Okay. All you
ladies have a
people.
wonderful evening. Enjoyed all of you. And I hope I get a chance to talk to each and every one of you individually at some point in the near future.
Yes.
Great.
So before we start up again in January, we will.
My number is a landline. It's not a text. So you have to talk. Leave a message and I'll call you back.
All right now.
There you go. There you go. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And Chanel, we'll take us out.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.